we had the building, and this was the largest room that we had in the building, so it was kind of coming back here. It just kind of brings back a memory of, teaching the RCIA classes. RCIA, Rite of Christian Initiation for Adults. It's non-Catholics coming into the Catholic Church. So a lot of RCIA is about teaching them what the Catholic faith has to say. And one of a big misunderstanding of non-Catholics is reconciliation, because they always said, why do I need to do that? I mean, you tell me that God is everywhere. That he's here, he's outside, he's in the house, he's in the backyard, he's everywhere. Why do I need to go to one person, called a priest, and tell him my sins? He's not God. It's like, doesn't make sense. You Catholics don't make sense of your faith. And the answer to the question is, yeah, that's true. God is everywhere. We're not saying God is not everywhere. And that at any time that you choose, if you have a relationship with God, do you know who Jesus is in your life? Do you have a personal relationship with Jesus? Sometimes it's like, no. Then if you don't have a personal relationship with this person, how are you going to go to anybody and say whatever you need to say? But the other aspect that they, kind of had a little misunderstanding on is, what is sin? What does sin do when you sin in your life, when there is sin in your life? Do we know? Anybody? Raise your hands here in the front row. We don't know what sin is? We don't sin. Yes?
Sin is going against the Ten Commandments.
Okay. 10 Commandments. What else? Anything? Well, and again, that's kind of the set of rules that we were saying from the beginning, that sometimes we get an intellectual that says, well, we have 10 things in this case. So as long as we follow these 10 things, we're not sinning. Is that necessarily the case? There's more to it than that. Yeah, that's kind of the guidelines for us. And there are rules and regulations in the Catholic faith that say, these are the things that being a Christian, loving God, honor mom and dad, on and on in the 10 Commandments, but it is more than that. Again, it's an intellectual thing versus living it out. Because if you honor mother and father, why would you not honor everyone else? Is it just, honoring two people? Or is it honoring your neighbor and being kind? So again, it's a matter of opening up. And what I always told them, which made sense, is that the community of faith comes to worship on Sunday. And we have a common faith, and we use a lot of guidelines and rules and regulations that the Catholic Church has. But again, being a Christian is an all-encompassing life, and having this relationship with Jesus, and having a belief in him, and understanding, what it means to be kind, and understanding and sharing. And when we as a community with that belief, when one of us stands up and says, I'm going to do something different, I have a situation and a person in my life, and I don't like them, so I'm going to go over and be mean to them. Or I'm going to say something mean and nasty and get them in trouble at work. so that they don't get the promotion and I can get the promotion. So basically what has happened is that that person has separated themselves from the rest of the community. Because the rest of the community has this belief that's saying, hey, we have to be kind and understanding. And, this is what we believe. This is why we're called Christian. This is why we're called Catholic. This is our belief. Yet, one of us steps to the side and says, no, I want to do something different. That's sin. That's stepping out of the realm and belief of what God has called us to and what the name Christian means. And reconciling ourselves is coming back basically to the community, which we don't do, but it would be. And in a sense, it's very much like coming back and getting up and saying, hey, I haven't lived a very good life. And last week I ran into one of my workers, and this is what I did. And I shouldn't have done that. I'm really sorry. I can see that that wasn't good, and I've seen the consequences. I've talked to him. I'm sorry. I want to come back into the community. Is it okay? Reconciliation. Coming back into the community. And it would be nice if we would have one of those sessions at Mass, but who would be the first one to get up? Anybody? Raise your hand. Nobody. So what happens is that the church said, well, what we'll do, we have this individual called the priest. And he is the altar person who represents Jesus. He brings Jesus to us. And he would be the one person that will designate that can forgive sins. So once you need to step out and you do that and you want to come back in, here's the person you need to talk to.